Hey everybody, this is Jake with Seattle Coffee Gear, and today we're going to be doing a crew review of the Espro Bloom pour over. It's a new pour over device from Espro. It gives you the options to use it with filters or without the paper filters. And today we're going to be brewing up a cup of the Methodical Honduras Finca La Única, a single origin, really nice from Methodical, with the Baratza Encore here. You'll notice here a few new accessories on the Encore. We're going to be talking about those soon enough. A single dose hopper and some accents that are really nice to upgrade your Baratza grinder at home. The Bloom is a pour over cone, and it uses its own filters that are a little bit different than the rest of the filters out on the market. It has a very narrow shape with a wide shape up at top. So the brewing does take a little bit to get used to, but once you have it, it's really easy. It only takes about 2 minutes of brewing time compared to the 3 or 4 minutes you get on some of the other cone style pour overs. So it's really nice if you have a little bit less time in the morning, and you're still getting a great extraction out of your pour over in half the time, just about. So these filters can be a little bit tricky. So they tell you to splay them out like this in order to be able to pull them apart, just like a lot of other types of coffee filters that get stuck together. So we're going to grab one of these out here, put the rest back, and we're just going to go ahead and drop that right in. We've got our water already preheated to 203 degrees, and I already have 16 grams of the Methodical ground in here on a 13 grind setting on the Encore, which is just about perfect for the filter. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse my filter first. Get rid of all that papery taste. I'm just going to go ahead and let that flow through. And I'm going to go ahead and just discard it back here. And then I'm going to zero out my scale. I'm using the OXO precision scale for this. I'm going to go ahead and zero it out just so everything's nice and even. I'm going to get my grounds in here. And we want to use 16 grams. I just about ground 16 grams, but we want to make sure that we're right on the target there. And 16.3, perfect. And with this, you're going to do a 50 gram or 50 milliliter bloom for the first 30 seconds. And then you're just going to do one continuous pour after that of 250 milliliters until you hit about the 1 minute and 30 second mark. I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and start my timer here. And we're going to go ahead and pour the bloom. So like I said, we're going to do a 50 gram bloom at first, just to get everything nice and saturated. And it looks like I went a little bit over. That's okay. 50 to 70 grams is going to be just fine for that. I'm going to give it until 30 seconds and let it bloom down. Now I have also tried this pour over without the filter, and I'll go ahead and talk about that in a minute once my bloom is done and while I'm pouring my next 250 grams. So I have tried this without the paper filter in there, and with that you get a lot more silt as you'd expect, because you're going to be doing a slightly coarser grind setting, not to clog it up. On the Encore here, I had to take it all the way down to an 18, which is pretty coarse compared to the 13 that we're at right now. And with that, you're going to get a little more silt, but you're also going to get more oil in the cup, which is kind of a nice thing sometimes. You don't get all the nuances of your coffee in the clean cup like you would with the paper filter, but you do get a little bit more of that French press style immersion brew. It tends to immerse a little bit more because there is the metal mesh on the bottom. And we're actually right now at 300, so I'm just going to go ahead and let that draw down and see how that goes. And like I was saying, with the metal mesh on the bottom, you're going to get a lot more of silt through, a lot more of the oils through. It gives you a little bit more body in the cup, and yeah. So it's a really good cup. I like it with paper filters better, but you might like it without the paper filters better. And we're right around 2 minutes, and it looks like our drawdown is almost complete. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this timer here. 1 minute and 59 seconds. It's a lot quicker of a drawdown than you'd be used to. It's that cone shape that's really drawing in the water, making sure that all that coffee is actually extracting and in contact with the hot water and not being splayed out to the sides like a more just standard funnel shape would be, because it has that ridge that goes down. You get a lot better of contact with the hot water. I'm going to go ahead and grab this with the, there's a little thermal ring here, so that you can just go ahead and remove it without getting your hands burned. I'm just going to go ahead and place it right here and grab a cup. Go ahead and give it a swirl. Just make sure everything's nice and evenly mixed in there. It's always good to do this with a pour over. And we're going to go ahead and taste it. So the tasting notes on the Methodical are strawberry, rooibos, and peach cobbler. It's a natural process, so I would expect a little bit more of that fruit out of here. And yeah, I can really smell it. The paper filter does a great job of making just like that nice clean cup. Let me go ahead and give it a taste. It's really hot, that's for one. But yeah, it's really well extracted. You can get the notes of that strawberry in there. A little bit of stone fruit like the peach on the end. But overall, yeah, it's a really well extracted cup. I really like this. So another few things before I go with the Espro Bloom is when I was doing the pour over, I was actually looking through this little slot here just to see how my extraction was going into the cup. You can see if it's clogging. It shouldn't really clog because on the inside there's actually a bunch of spirals that run down the side to prevent any clogging. And other than that, it's a really easy pour over experience, which is why I really like it. So that was a cup of pour over coffee made with the Espro Bloom. Really nice and easy, really simple compared to a lot of pour over brewers. I actually find that it's a lot harder to make mistakes, and you get better extraction overall more consistently, which is really important in a pour over. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos from Seattle Coffee Gear. Thank you so much.